What's up, everybody? So this cartoon is about my experiences in church. Believe it or not, I used to be a Bible thumper. For some reason, I was down with going to church every week. Not like I had a choice, but you know. So every Sunday, me, my brother, and my moms would go to a self-proclaimed house of God. Oh, and my grandmother. You ever had one of those ladies in church that were always like, "The Lord will provide"? Yeah, that was my grandmother. The general breakdown for going to church is this. You show up on time so you don't get judged by other people. And if you're not, you basically moon people while you're walking by trying to find a seat. You sing 20 songs out of this thick burgundy booklet or the pink Songs of Faith book thingy. You get a piece of the driest bread niblet ever, and you drink a little cup of grape juice. You give the church a couple bucks, sing a couple more songs. You read a few verses from the good book. Then you're commanded to pray for like 10 minutes. And then you sit there and listen to someone lecture about what they've learned from the Bible. Sounds pretty simple, right? Well, yeah, but to me, church was, boring. Let's start off when I was like 10 years old. At first, nothing about church interested me, and I had no idea what eternal salvation meant. So I drew. I would always leave the house with a sketchbook and like 4 pencils. And my mother did not like that at all. You guys ever seen Insidious 2? Where the woman was like, "Don't you dare!" and then slapped the crap out of the mother? Yeah, that was my mom. She was like, "No!" She forbade me to draw, which was stupid to me because if I didn't draw, I would fall asleep. And then I'm sitting in church like, that was a trap and she knew it. You can't blame your mom for not letting you draw in church. And I would sound like a lawnmower banging a whale, sitting in church being seduced by Freddy. I still have the scars. Anyway, eventually I was like, let me open this here Bible and see what the Lord has to say. Turns out this book was, it's pretty cool. Like when Eve betrayed the man she loved for an apple. Or that one time when Joseph was like rocking that rainbow multicolored toga. He was all up in his house like, yeah! Wait, and y'all remember that part when Sam and Dean totally bust open Lucy? Oh, wait. My bad. Side note, has anyone actually read books like Habakkuk and Zephaniah Nibelheim? So for the next few years, I got really involved with the whole church thing. Man, I went to church camps and Bible studies on Wednesdays. Saved was my movie. And my national anthem was Jesus Christ Superstar. I know, guys, I know. Skip a few years and I'm now like 14, 15. The peak of my rebellious teenage years. And after studying for so long, I started to ask questions. And there were not questions like,
why did God sacrifice his only son for us?
Nope. They were like scientific questions like, why did God give us pineal glands? I don't know how it is in other churches, but for the one I went to, you could not ask those kind of questions. Like you might as well have been trying to summon the Antichrist. Mixing science, facts, and religion usually doesn't go well with either party. It's like a curse on both houses or something. I got really excited about this stuff. And when I started asking questions, I always got put down. And not even just science questions. I was all like,
why can't we use instruments to praise the Lord even though it says we can in Psalms?
And the answer was, we don't follow the Old Testament anymore, which was kind of like, to me, but whatever. Now don't get me wrong, there are some churches out there who just use their voices who are amazing, like the sound and everything, it just has you hype. But at the time, my church didn't, and I was still like, so to keep my eyes open, I looked at other things. And I turned for the worst. And when I mean worst, I mean bad. Like I made out with a girl in church once. I know, it's bad. It's bad, I'm a bad guy. Our church was huge, we had a lot of young folk, so we decided to play tag. We fell into the baptismal water, and one thing led to another. Hey, we both went underwater, so our love was pure. And you know that point in time in your life where you're like, I'm not going to do certain things ever. For most people, those things usually include alcohol, sex before marriage, and drugs. For some, that includes marijuana. Skip a few more years and... Moving on. Okay, so I know that you can't like put a time on preaching the gospel, but the pastor would always wait till like New Year's before he says,
okay, you can go home.
I would always get scolded for falling asleep, but there would be at least 20 people who would also be like, wait for it. I don't care who you are. If you go to church, you always look forward to the pastor saying,
come now, as we all stand and sing. Come back in an hour.
I'm not making this video to bash churches. That's not my plan. I do believe in God, and I do hope you guys believe in the Lord with all your heart and soul. And if you don't, I mean, whatever. Hey, I'm an Aquarius Pisces cusp. I'm crazy. My mind is out there. Yeah, I believe in God, but I also believe in chakras and all that comes with it.
Brain science.
You guys should totally tell me your experiences in church and stuff. I mean, I can't be the only one that feels like sharing. And if you don't go to church and you know about chakras or you're a scion, school me. I'm just getting into this stuff. And if you don't do either, then tell me about your beliefs. I mean, coexisting and love is important. I just thought about something. Are we really a product of incest? Ew!